For a little tree, she sure is beautiful. Gonna add one right there. I got some rearranging to do. So winter gem, tall enough to stick out of the snow. Got another one that's a different variety of yellow evergreen, and it's so short that it gets buried this year. Needs a little time. I'm excited every year about adding things that are beautiful all year round. I did not realize that bamboo was so hardy, but it does add to the interest. This is the new hangout in the rooster flock, the duck house. Interesting. This is Mojo. Got himself a spot. He's a loner. He's always on the outside of everything. Always. He's one of the original chickens hatched here 4 years ago. Our chickens are 4 years old. The first flock. Oh, here we go. Young roosters. Who is that? That is Caesar on the rooster side, because I don't have it closed. That's not like Caesar to come over here. There's Chilo. They both belong on the other side. They're making nice. They're not making war, they're making nice. We're surviving winter. Mostly quietly. We're just quietly going through January. I don't believe January's ever a really good month for me, and it starts in December as the days are getting shorter and shorter. And by the time we get to January, I know the days are getting longer, but it's not noticeable, and it's cold. Ground freezes, and of course I'm going to be a little depressed because I am a garden channel. Yes, Ducky, you found a nice hole to dig in. I seen you. I know. You hear me talking, you want to talk too? So basically we're surviving, and I'm starting to feel better. The other day I was thinking, I'm feeling better. It must be the end of January. And I looked at the calendar and it was January 12th. And that is not the end of January. That is the middle. When I finished with my work, I found myself just hanging out here underneath the light, assessing. That's when I decided to pull the camera out. I did have it in my pocket. So let's see, single digits this week. We'll be closing these tops. These doors will be closed, and they'll just have that 10 by 10 space for the single digit days with heaters and lights. Uh-oh, somebody got an egg. Not good, but I'm going to let it be what it is. We'll fight over it now, keep them busy. I gathered eggs. I gathered 3. I missed one. I think I seen it when I was throwing bedding. See, where was I? I'm encouraging the food and water to be where the lights and the heaters are. So these are right directly underneath the heat lamp. And inside that house, because there's room, there's a small food dish and a hanging water. It's, you know, the water with the little cups. This is to encourage the chickens to be around where the heat is. I can't do that in the duck house because it's just not big enough. But the loft and the other coop has food and water in it. And the food and water is in front of the door, which is where most of the heat is located. So I chose the spot in front to be the designated eating area, the hangout spot, because there's heat. So today isn't that bad. I mean, I'm dressed really warm. I have my warmest clothes on, my wool socks, my insulated pants that don't fit in my boot. Gloves, these are the warmest gloves. These are insulated. Carhartt coat. It's warm. So the only thing I have to add when it gets down into the single temperatures is a scarf. Because that frigid, you know, 35 below freezing air is hard to breathe. So I'll have to add a scarf, and I've got all my clothes ready for the week. Interesting, it's one day in the middle of the week above freezing, 37, but with the wind chill you probably won't feel it. And it's supposed to snow. And then 2 nights, single digits, which means the wind chill's probably going to be below freezing. Yesterday, can't remember exactly how cold it was, but this sunroom had frost on the inside. Like it's the furthest away from the heat. Yeah, it's frosty, you can feel it. It's frosty on the inside. You don't feel it as much in the middle today, but you will when it gets below freezing. I mean, around 0. So we're ready. We're prepared. Got a chance to wash all my other warm clothes, and I've got my warmest ones out. All I gotta do is find a scarf that works. So I've been out here. I've put bedding in all the houses. Freshened them up, made them smell good. I've been out here quite a while, and I'm not cold. And that work is done, so when it's 0 degrees, all the other work should be doable to leave until it warms up. Surviving January. And feeling better. That's a bonus. So I actually need to be outside. For my physical and mental well-being, I need to be outside. And when it gets too cold to be outside, I suffer. And Greenhouse 1 isn't all that happy either. It's alive. I'm alive. Stopped to take pictures, and everybody was just making, you know, really pretty noises. Grunting, chatter. The green onion going to seed. I don't think I'm going to let it continue. I'll probably eat that one next. So I'm cutting them to the bottom and letting the bottoms regrow. I dumped this tray yesterday, the day before. Most of it survived. Mostly cleaned up the mess. And down here in my onions, I have tomatoes coming up. And I have recently lost my cherry tomato plant, so there's something coming up over here. Thought that was a tomato plant too. Might be. So I can use these onion tops for green onions too, and just let the balls keep growing. It's purple onions. And I needed this tomato yesterday, but I didn't want to come out to the greenhouse to get it. It's not coming off easy. And then you have to use scissors or 2 hands. Peppers, they're still declining, but I have been spraying these peppers with neem oil and soap. So it's killing the foliage, but there's still signs. Now these are probably all dead. Garden pests. But I'm still spraying, even though I think that they're mostly dead. Like the ones I was showing you, they're all dead, but I wasn't sure if they were all dead, and I'm still spraying. I had a cold night in here, maybe 2 cold nights in here. So that killed all the foliage on this one, but the plant's still alive. And soon we should be getting some new growth. Looks like I might have tomato plants coming up in here too. Celery, I've been cutting off the celery. Moved the rosemary. I was moving the rosemary is how I knocked that tray over, because I had it pulled out so that it could get light from up here. And I had it pulled out too far to be bumping it, and it just fell. So I got a nice celery back here. Here, so I've been using that. So there's quite a bit of food in here. I've brought lettuce in the house. It's just about done. So I put seeds in here. Radish seeds. What was the other one? Don't you love it when your mind just goes completely blank while you're filming? Beets. And there's anemones coming up in here too. So I'm double seeding these pots so that I always have something coming up. And I did it kind of late. See, there's still signs of pests. So I'm still spraying. I would like the pest situation to be done before spring. Anemone coming up in here. The anemones in the yard were eaten by something. Rabbits, chipmunks, mice. And I didn't get very many anemones last year, and it made me sad. So I was trying to figure out another way to have them. Oh, I pulled peppers off of here. They were small, but I pulled 2 peppers. Poblano and a red. So even though the plants don't look perfect, there were still peppers. There's still a pepper. So I'm using it. I do have to keep spraying. This is a purple petunia. I had to cut it back a little more and spray it. Petunias are magnets for aphids. So are pansies. So I really have to stay on top of it. My mixes are DIY homemade, and I buy neem oil, which is organic. I hear birds. I need to fill up bird feeders. That's on my list of stuff to do. So I need to add winter interest to this side. This upcoming year, I have one that needs to be moved. That can go right here in the front. It's a short, wide, blue evergreen. The orchard's on this side. There won't be any evergreen interest there, because it's all shrubs and berries and fruit trees. This side, we've worked on this year quite a bit. I'm happy with it. Pots are crooked and they're frozen to the ground. Short evergreen that's buried in snow. It's a holly. It is beautiful watching things grow in year after year. A little bit of life left in my lemongrass. First year I've been able to winter it. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt to keep trying. Filming on my way in. Did allow my feet to get cold. I can't be out there for very long. Small space growing. Things growing in the bigger pots. I haven't done my morning work in the kitchen yet. I do love being in the kitchen when I'm surrounded by plants, though. bromeliad. It's an air plant. I've seen those in the wild. They're up high in the trees where I can't get them. And another, plant saving plants in the pots of plants.